Welcome to another episode of Mythic Drafting, where today we're doing another Lord of the Rings draft. And we've opened an absolute banger here, Sauron the Dark Lord. I've got another draft video where I drafted Sauron, but there's no way we're passing up this one. 3 blue, black, red for a 7/6 legendary creature. It's got ward. They have to sack a legendary artifact or creature. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you amass 1. Whenever an army you control deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts you. And whenever the ring tempts you, you may discard your hand, and if you do, draw 4 cards. So Sauron's probably one of the most busted 6-drops you can possibly have in Limited. And it also happens to be in the best 3 colours, so we will be slamming it here. Looking to take some of the land cyclers as well to hopefully maximise the value of Sauron. I think it goes really well in any of the colour pairs, but particularly black-red splashing blue or blue-black. I think black-red's also fine, but you want to be in a controlling build with some card draw. Like cards like Bathsong would be good. Sam's Desperate Rescue also good. I'm glad to not be passing a ton of really strong black or red cards here. And now, another interesting pack here is the Sam's Desperate Rescue. None of these red commons are particularly playable. Looks like they've taken an uncommon here. Fangorn Tree Shepherd. We're not taking a triple green card after taking Sauron, and this card's not good anyway. I think here the pick for us is going to be Grishnak Brash Instigator. It's a 1/1. When it enters battlefield, you amass Orcs 2. When you do, you gain control of target non-legendary creature an opponent controls with power less than or equal to the amassed army's power, and it gains haste. So nice little effect here, and there are some sack outlets that you can get to really, drive home the value of Grishnak and do like sack and steal. You've got improvised clubs, you've got Sirith Ungol Patrol as well. That can be nice with Grishnak to form a little combo. But yeah, we're just going to pick up Grishnak here. Now, funnily enough, my last deck with Sauron, I also had the Fall of Kar Andros here, which I think it's not the best card, but it's an interesting one in a deck that has like if you've got a lot of removal and card draw, it gives you the inevitability. Like most decks, if this card is resolved and the game goes long, they will lose. So it is very strong. We could potentially pick it here. I think there's also, you could pick Rally here. I also quite like just taking Troll to start shoring up the splash here. We could take Fall of Kar Andros, but I think we've already kind of done that. I think after taking Grishnak, we potentially take Rally, but I really just want to shore up the fixing and maximize Sauron. So I'm just going to take Troll of Khazad-dûm there. Get a little bit punished now with another Troll here, which I think we will just take. This just means like we can play 1 Swamp, play 2 Trolls. I also don't mind. Shy Terrace gets a lot of grief, but I don't mind it because I think you can get a lot of mana sources. It's an untapped land, so it never really punishes you in terms of you're not going to have a tap land when you need an untapped land, but still can make mana bases clunky, but I think it's a little bit better than people give it credit for. Also, don't mind Kingfisher here. I like Kingfisher a bit more than most people, but I think, we just take another Troll. We wish we took the Rally before. And now we've got Oliphant, Warbeast. I like Easterling Vanguard, but we're just going to take out the Grishnak here. This is a pretty nice black-red start, which is exactly what you want to see after taking Sauron. We're still very open to red, blue as well. But yeah, another Grishnak is nice. Nice seeing Oliphant here. Nice seeing Easterling Vanguard as well, but certainly can't pass up the Grishnak there. And now, interesting options here. Easterling Vanguard is solid. Uruk-hai Berserker is solid. Relentless Rohirrim, though, is very good. And I kind of think we want to just cut the red here. I think Vanguard, this is the ring tempts you. I appreciate Uruk-hai Berserker also is the ring tempts you, but Relentless Rohirrim goes well with Grishnak. It's like we've seen a fair bit of red. There's a Moria here as well. We're cutting red nicely. We might still end up being blue-red, and so I think it's worth taking the Rohirrim there over the Easterling Vanguard and the Berserker, but I could totally see you taking Berserker there as well. Now we get a pretty easy 7th pick, Book of Mazabul. Red seems quite open. There's no black card in the pack, which is interesting. There's a generous End here as well, Smoothing of Smeagol. I also like Quarrel's End, but yeah, Book of Mazabul goes well with Grishnak. the 2-body aspect of this, as well as, it makes its own, builds the amass army, and you can then beef this up to steal something bigger, which is great. Now, another interesting pick here. There's Banish, but I think the card we want here is Nasty End. It's good in decks that care about the ring tempts you. It's good with cards like Grishnak, because Grishnak's a 1/1 we can sacrifice, and also you can sacrifice the creature that you steal. So for 5 mana, you steal a creature, you attack with it, you bash them, and then you Nasty End, and you sack it away. So pretty happy to pick up a Nasty End here, and it looks like we're leaning into black-red, and we're not going to slow down with picking up Quarrel's End here. Not surprisingly, this pack is all green cards. Green is just not drafted at all. There's a Fangorn here, and now we have a Gimli's Fury or a Rush the Room. I think Gimli's Fury is like the only more playable card, but I don't think we're looking to play either of them. And we're pretty happy with the start. I think it's very likely we're going to be black-red. Don't really know if we want to play this Quarrel's End, although this card's much better, I find, in blue-red than it is in black-red. But now, I mean, if it comes to you on the wheel, I think I have to take this, and I think we're going to try and make this one work. I really did enjoy my control deck last time with Fall of Ka-Andros, and depending on the build of the deck we get here, this card is just, I mean, it doesn't do anything at the start, but if you get to 8 mana, it just deals 7 damage to a creature, and you amass Orcs X, where X is the excess damage. It's straight up busted if you can get to it. So if you have enough card advantage, enough ways to draw cards, enough removal to deal with their threats and slow the game down, you can actually get to the point where Fall of Ka-Andros just takes over and wins the game on any board state. So yeah, it was an interesting deck the last time I had it with this exact pair, and I think the cool thing with the lore is that Ka-Andros is Sauron's home. So that's pretty cool, pretty flavorful, and definitely a consideration when we're going to be trying to play it. Now we've got an interesting pack here. Single color cards, Rally and Uruk-hai Berserker. Don't think we're taking Gorbag here. I think if we want to say red, we could just take Rally here. I certainly think Rally is good with Book. It's good with Ring Tempts You. It's also a Shelob, Child of Ungoliant, which is just a massive, massive creature, and we could potentially splash green, but I don't think that's what we want to do here. I mean, we could take it, actually be a Legends deck if we get any great hauls. I think I'm just going to take Shelob. I think these cards are replaceable enough, and there's still actually a lot of upside with Shelob here, and look, it's just a bit of fun. So going to take Shelob there. Certainly don't think it's the right pick. I think the right pick there was probably the Rally to stay red and stay open, but we're here to have a little bit of fun. So now I've got a good pack as well. Dunlin Crebain, Easterling Vanguard, Gothmog. There's also a Rohirrim Lance, a Relentless Rohirrim, but Crebain is just the best card in this pack by far. We'll hope to wheel something here, like any of these 4 black-red cards we'd take. We'd also probably play a Wizard's Rockets in this deck. But yeah, 2 bodies again. It's amassing for Grishnak. It's just such a solid card. Definitely going to be the pick there. Now I've got a Grond the Gatebreaker here. It's a nice aggressive card, but doesn't really fit what we want to do here. Could take Oliphant, but we've already got 2 Trolls, and red looks like our base colour. I think we're actually just going to take Haunt of the Dead Marshes here. It's good with Nasty End, and the Ring Tempts You. Has a fair bit of synergy, and I like to have one in my black-red decks. So yeah, we're going to pick that one up there. Now, an interesting pick here. There's a Breaking of the Fellowship. There's a Pelagi Survivor here in blue, which I do quite like. We don't have a lot of instants or sorceries, so don't think that's going to be the pick for us. The card I'm actually going to take here is Inherited Envelope. Given we've got Shelob, helps us cast both Sauron and that. It also does the Ring Tempts You, which is very good with our little Nasty End, some of our little synergies here that we're building. And yeah, I think in decks with this much mana that we want, I think it's going to be worth picking that one up there. Now I've got Aragon, we could get really freaky if we wanted to try and get some Great Halls of the Citadel. But not much else outside of that. I think we're going to take Ringsight. The ring tempts you, search your library for a card that shares a color with legendary creature you control. So obviously all our black-red creatures go get a Sauron. It can also get like removal, Dunlin Crebain. I don't think this is a card we want to be playing, but there's potential that we could play it, so I think it's worth taking there. Similarly here, there's not a lot for us, although there is one Generous Ent. So I'm going to take Generous Ent here over Lembas, which I think would be my next pick. It just does allow us to actually play the Shelob here. We can play, one Forest, Inherited Envelope, and cards like Swarming of Moria can actually help us with this as well. Swarming of Moria is going to be nice in this deck. I think we can probably cut Quarrel's End here. But yeah, it creates a 2/2, amasses, you get a treasure. All of those things are really... it's really good in that it ramps you. We can play all of these on turn 5 and helps out in that way. And now we're actually going to pick up a Shire Terrace. Considering we're trying to play 4 colours here, I think it does give us value that we want. And we can pretty safely play it. And again, we're just going to take a Generous Ent. I think now we can probably play 15 land here. And play the Suite of Cyclers, which gives us, 3 forests, and effectively this takes 1 land slot, and these take another land slot, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green sources for our deck. And we could take Eagles of the North and start really locking it down. Mortar Trebuchet is interesting in this deck, but I don't think we want to take it. I think we just potentially play a Wizard's Rockets, so let's take that one. Friendly Rivalry as well. I mean, we theoretically could play this. I don't think we particularly want to. But yeah, it's possible. We could splash this if we wanted to in this deck. So yeah, the deck is certainly interesting. I don't think this is the deck I'd want to be drafting at the Pro Tour, but in terms of actually having fun, I think it's that point in the format where it's time to try and do some more fun things as opposed to just trying to spike every draft. But we couldn't get more flavorful here. We've opened the One Ring, which is my first time opening the One Ring. So yeah, 4 mana for an indestructible artifact. We gain protection from everything. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the One Ring. And you can tap it and draw a card for each burden counter on it. So amazing engine, just a great card unlimited. Sort of goes against the Fall of Kar Andros plan, and maybe we actually cut Fall of Kar Andros as the 2 cards kind of go against each other. But yeah, we're not passing up the One Ring there. Now I've got a Sam's Desperate Rescue. There's an Ugluk of the White Hand. There's also another Troll of Khazad-dûm. I think we just take Ugluk here. I think Ugluk works quite well in this version of the deck. A lot of Amass, a lot of Orcs, and just a solid beater for us. So yeah, we're going to pick that one up. Now I've got... This pack's pretty weak for us. There's a Grey Havens, which can scry 1, add 1 mana of any colour among the legendary creatures in your graveyard. We don't have a ton, so that's not particularly good. Looking at Grond, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6 ways of making an army. So I think Grond is actually a consideration here. I think we can just take it. I don't know if we're going to end up playing it, but there's potential that we do. And Mortar Muster is going to help with that. We need 2 drops in this curve. Mortar Muster is a great one. It also helps turn on Grond the Gatebreaker. It makes Grishnak much better because the army has, effectively, the Amass 2 here has haste. As does March from the Black Gate. I think March from the Black Gate is really nice in this deck. I think we potentially are going to be cutting the Fall of Kar Andros here. I mean, this deck probably would straight up be better as just a black-red deck as opposed to anything else, but we're here to have fun. So, Lash of the Balrog is a really nice pickup here. We're a little bit light on removal. we're actually quite light on removal. So that's actually a great pickup for us. The Nasty End Grishnak combo is going to have to be doing work in this deck. Now I think we take a Shy Scarecrow. Again, we're not playing it, but pick it up. We actually may play Fall of Ka'Andros because we don't have any removal. So we're going to be inserting 14 lands, so we can get one more playable here. I think we actually might want it. I mean, the ring deals a lot of damage, but Fall can actually, like, if we just sort of time our stuff right, we're not always going to draw the one ring. We're not always going to draw Fall. It is a little bit clunky. Got a lot of 2-for-1s, a lot of value. I think potentially we can get away with it. But, oh my god. There's a Gandalf the Grey. We only have 4 instants and sorceries though. So yeah, Gandalf's not good in this deck. Relentless Rohirrim is good. I'd love to be able to play Gandalf, but we just can't here. I think we just slam Relentless Rohirrim there. Pelagi Survivor, like it. Like Gwahir as well, but I think we just take Survivor. We're not playing it. We might play Orcish Medicine. I think we cut the Fall. I just don't think it's really where we want to be. It's a little bit awkward. It's kind of hard to know if we want to play it or not. I think it would be amazing in best of 3 for us to potentially be able to, sideboard it in and out based on the matchup. Other options are, we're not playing Fire. We're not playing Splashing for Ringside. We could play Quarrel's End. I think Quarrel's End is actually potentially fine. We want 1/1s for the ring. It draws us into Sauron and our other cards that we want to play. Actually, Breaking of the Fellowship. That's a great one. I was overlooking this before. Probably should have been trying to pick it up, but yeah, the removal of that in our deck, we actually kind of need it. So, yeah, pretty happy with this deck. I think it definitely came together. We had some really strong opens in the One Ring, Sauron and Shelob. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. I think, it's certainly not the most consistent of decks. I'm sure people will be saying, this is, just a 4-color soup. But we'll try and get away with it. So, yeah, I think we want to go down to 1 forest with the 2 Generous Ents, the Inherit Envelope, the Rockets, and our Treasure. And then in terms of the split, the lands here. So this is 15 lands. I think it's potentially fine, actually. So we need more black, which is what we've got. We want black early. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. And I'll see you in game number 1. Alrighty, here we are for game number 1. Our opponent has taken a mulligan. We will not be. Keeping this hand, Troll to land cycle. We can also land cycle Generous Ent if we want to, which we probably will. Like, we only have 1 forest, so we're definitely going to cycle 1 now, but going to go ahead and cycle Boy here, the Troll first here, sorry, because in case we draw a 2-drop with black, like we might draw a March from the Black Gate there, it's going to be worth doing it that way. Well, we draw our 1 forest, so no need. We actually can't land cycle now because we only have 1 forest. This won't get anything. You'll just discard it and you won't get a thing. So definitely don't want to do that. We're just going to play Dunlin Crebain here and then we'll follow it up with the old Grondy boy. Go ahead and get out the Crebain. Opponent's stuck on 2 lands, so unless they draw land in the next few turns, it's going to be pretty tough for them. They've got Pelagi Survivor. So now if they've got like Torment of Golem, they can cast Torment of Golem. They can cast any of their 4 mana spells here. So Golem's Bite. Golem's Bite actually pretty solid on this board because it takes down our free Grond. It's actually pretty nice. Grond's still going to do work though because Grond is pretty... Swarmy Amori is a really nice draw actually though because now we can cast Grond the Gatebreaker. Grond actually also gets around Glorious Gale. So if they had the Gale, that actually helps us big time. Now we can attack and then this as well will get around Glorious Gale and then we can Swarming of Moria, then Lash of the Balrog, the Dunlin Crebain to kill something and Grond will be turned online because we're going to control an army with this. So Yeah, it's pretty nice. Can take Grond out of combat. Yeah, let's go ahead and cast Swarming of Moria. They might have like a Glorious Gale in hand actually here, which is pretty unfortunate for them. Now we can just bash in. They can like kill Dunlin Crabane. No, okay, they're doing a Smoothing of Smeagol. The Grond there. Give them the ring, tempts them. Now I think we just ship it here. We'll probably crack this for a black here. And then we'll cast Generous Ant next turn, I think. Look, it kind of feels like they have a counterspell here. So maybe we just want to cast Grond. Because the reason for casting Grond there is like they can't counter it with Glorious Gale. So I don't want to cast Sauron. I'm actually happy to get the counter out of their hand if they do have one. So let's just go ahead and attack first with our flyer. They easily could have something here, but I'd rather run this one out and get it countered than wait to cast Sauron later. Because next turn we can still... Yeah, so they did have the Glorious Gale. So maybe it was better to Grond there, but eventually we're going to have to do it. And now if they tap out and we draw a land, we can just cast. Black Breath's nice. This doesn't get rid of our army. It is annoying though in that they can attack. But I think... Ooh. One really good reason for not casting Generous at that turn was it shuts off our ability to actually cast Sauron. So that was a big punt from me. Now I think we just slam a Generous Ant here. Number 2. Get it down. Could have another Gale, but I mean, Ant's just going to end this game very quickly. No attacks from us, and next turn we can play Grond and we could lash something if we want. We can just save lash for a 5-drop. I don't think we're under any immense pressure here. Yeah, so that was a punt. I forgot we needed blue to cast Sauron. Now here's Sirith Ungol Patrol. We probably just want to kill that, to be honest. I think we can just Ugluk here. And then I think we just lash. Grond is fine, but I think it's worth just lashing here. Because we get the counters on Ugluk here. It becomes a 5-5. We have 2 massive threats. We take them down. The tempo advantage is pretty strong, and Grond is still like, we'll stick around and eventually we'll find another army to fight with. Yeah, so gonna clock them pretty quickly here. Keep the land in case we want to cycle eventually with some ring tempting. Opponent pitching lands here. The Sauron misplay was pretty bad actually. Like Dunlin Crabane, that's a nice one. Still gonna have to draw out here, so let's go ahead and just bash in. They're pretty low. So they're probably gonna have to chump here. Yes, they're gonna take they're gonna take the counter off here with Goldberry, and then I can use Goldberry to draw a card next turn. But they have to pay a blue. Down to 7. I think we'll be attacking with Grond next turn, given that it has trample. Now we just say go again. We're going to start playing lands as well, I've realised, because if we draw Inherited Envelope, we should have played one more land, because then if we draw Inherited Envelope, we can play a land, play an Inherited Envelope, play Sauron. So definitely should be doing that. Then pitching to Save the Messenger, a little bit scary. Lorien revealed. Okay, so I'm drawing 4. Swamp, no island, so they have to chump here. Got black, so they got Lash of the Balrog in hand. Yeah, sacking Dunlin Crebain. Let's go ahead and sack our food here. So yeah, drawing all. Let's go ahead and crew the Grond here. Need to hit something here pretty severely. Hit them for 5. And we'll play 1 land. So we've drawn 7, 9, 10. So there's 5 land left. So we have, a 75% chance of hitting a spell next turn. Pelagic Survivor is not doing it for them. We've got 5 power on board, so 1 card in hand here. Another land. I think we just want to crew Grond first. Grond gets damaged through. We can only kill 1 creature at a time still. They can block with all 3. They can just block with 2 and we'll kill Goldberry, I guess. They'll probably move. I'm going to do that, okay. So we'll kill the legendary one. They'll put the counter and draw a card here, but which is really nice. Goldberry, when you get it going, is great with Amass. Like blue-black Amass Goldberry is a sweet, sweet combo. I'm not sure that in the lore, the nymph should be working with the orc armies, but it's the way it works. So yeah, Sauron stuck in our hand. Big boo-boo. I'm going to try and win through it. There's the inherited envelope. So now, go ahead and let's play a land. Play inherited envelope. We want to play Sauron first because we can crew Grond with Sauron's trickery. Was not expecting that. It's probably been stuck in our hand for so long because we just haven't been drawing anything. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get Grond down. Get Grond beating down. Try and clear the way here for the generous end. So we've got some interesting ways of blocking. Blueberry doesn't have anything here. I think we're just going to order them this way to take down 3 of the blockers here. They might have like Nasty End here as their last card, which would be pretty brutal because they can just sack Bill Fernie. Looks like that's what... So they're moving the counter. Okay. That's fine. So they've got 2 chump blockers, 2 cards in hand. If they can deal with deal with Generous End here, they're in a pretty good spot. Just going to activate the ring so they get to start looting again. Okay, so Grishnak is nice because let's see, we want to steal. I think we want to steal the East. Take the Easterling Vanguard. I think, yeah, because now that then they need to block both and they're just dead. Yep. So got there in the end. A few misplays along the way. Sauron stuck in hand, couldn't get it out, but winning game number 1, and I'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, back again for game number 2. This hand is a keep. We're going to cycle Troll first, and then turn 2 we can play Haunt and cycle. Ooh, we'll not be cycling the old Generous End, because again, we've drawn our one forest, but that's fine. We've got 4 lands in hand, got all our colours, got Crebain, Haunt with the marshes to dig, Sauron as well, so just need to find the blue source and we'll be cooking here. I actually think we put this on the top. Land is like probably one of our better draws given what we've got in hand. I think it's tempting to like put on the bottom and look for an island, but we get to go Dunlin Crebain and we also get to, like, we just want to get up to Shelob and Generous Ant as quickly as possible here. So, yeah, no blocks from us because it's got first strike. And now we will just be running out the Dunlop Crebain and hoping we draw some spells here. We're in a pretty good spot here. Eon's fine. Esquire of the King. You know, they can obviously activate it now because this is a legend. But like, if they attack with Esquire of the King, we can block with the 2/2. They have to give it first strike to be able to trade off without killing this, so I think it's fine. They could like give it vigilance attack with it. Like, we can think about triple blocking here, but I'm not concerned given that in a couple of turns we'll be sticking a really beefy couple of creatures. Generous Ed's going to give us food. Faramir is a good one. So opponent has some nice ones here. Got all the lands we need now. We really need to draw a spell next turn. But yeah, Faramir, if a creature controlled died under your turn, if a creature died under your controller's turn, draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Faramir, create a 1/1. Really, really strong card. Really good in white. White's certainly not like where I'd want to be, but if you're going to be there, having cards like Eowyn and Faramir is nice. We don't have any blocks here. Opponent's definitely got to play this turn. Relentless Rohirrim. Okay. So they're going off a little bit here. They can make Eowyn. Yep, they get a 1/1. Shy Terrace. Okay. So we've officially done nothing now. I think keeping the land on top was bad because we've ripped straight land after that. Maybe we were meant to put the land on the bottom, but I think, it was our 5th land. I think maybe we were potentially meant to bottom it there, but now we can actually just cast Sauron next turn, which is pretty nice. So here they're attacking 2/4, first strike. I think we just want to block here and probably block the 4/3. Just want to start slowing the damage down here. They're going to activate this, yeah. That's fine. So we take 3, spend most of their turn, and then we trade here. They get to draw a card off Faramir, which is nice. We're going to go get Island. Now it's our turn. Another land. Okay, so the question is now, like, do we play Shelob? Do we play Generous Ant, or do we play Sauron? Sauron gives us the 1/1. This turn if it dies. If they can't deal with Sauron, it's like the biggest problem for them. They need to sack a legendary creature to kill it so they can sack Eowyn. I think we just want to cast Sauron. Like, Sauron on this board, if they can deal with it, it helps us. We get a 1/1. They have to kill one of their creatures. If they can't deal with it, it's obviously a huge problem as well. So, yeah, I think it's possible that they can probably deal with Sauron here, but we can cast Shelob the next turn, which shores up the board as well. Cast Generous End to turn after that. It's the fact that they haven't just snap killed this is a positive sign for us. They are going to like get to, if they attack here, I think we have to block with Sauron. We also can't kill Eowyn, which is tough. Got something here. They're in the absolute tank. The other thing is, like, if we block Relentless Rohirrim and they have a pump spell, between this and that, if it's got first strike, they can probably get through. If they only attack with their first strike creature, maybe we don't block. Seems pretty bad though. I think if they had that line, they probably just swung out here. So Shadowfax. Okay, so we get the 1/1. They get to put something into play when they attack with it. So they're going to give Shadowfax first strike here and haste. Okay. So coming in with the team. Other humans get... Okay, so we want to kill... We want to kill Shadowfax. Kill that. If we do it like this, we take 9, 12. So I think we actually want to kill Faramir because we don't want them drawing more cards here, and we want to double chump. Here we take 9. So I think that's right. There's potential we're meant to just kill Shadowfax. I think this game's going to be super tough to win. Yeah, I mean, we're just not winning here. Shelob just doesn't get it done. Generous Ant doesn't get it done, sadly. We can cast Shelob, show them off together, but yeah, it's not going to do it. I think they're just going to swing out. Really well played from the opponent. Erkenbrand and Shadowfax there were very nice. I mean, we're just dead to EO in here, so good game opponent. We'll let them swing out. They've probably got another creature here to put into play. Yeah, so wow, build a pony. Bang. Have some legends fall in the battle, but nice game. Gonna slam us through here, and Sauron's fallen. We're 1-1, and I will see you in the next game there. On to game number 3 here. This hand's definitely a keep here. We're on the draw. With Strock, it's a little bit awkward, but I think we're just going to cycle Troll here and lock in Mortal Muster into Grishnak, which is a nice combo. Then we can Rockets and Shy Terrace on turn 4. And there's the island. So we're going to have all 4 of our colours here. Inherit Envelope, Wizards Rockets on turn 4 is good. Potentially, actually, if they play an artifact or an enchantment here, we may actually be able to get them pretty good. We can also use it. We could potentially... The ring... Wow, okay. So they're going to firebrand our Mortal Muster. The ring has tempted them. Now I'm actually tempted here to just inherit an Envelope. If they want to go ahead and just snap this off, that's fine by me. We'll also just Wizards Rockets now. Because now next turn we can Grishnak if we want. No, we can't because we lost our thing. But we may be able to set it up with Warbeast here. So I think now this turn we want to cast... Well, I was going to say we want to cast Warbeast, but... I think what we actually want to do now is just march from the black gate. Amass 1. And then Grishnak. Oh, it's less than. Oh. So yeah, it's unfortunate. We should have... Jesus. Oh, it's non-legendary. Of course. So the fact that this had the legendary means we can't do that whole line. My bad. What I wanted to do was steal it and then sack it to destroy Wizards Rockets, but this line is also fine. So I'm going to give it flying. We just want to block this Battle Scarred Goblin here. We've got to slow the bleeding down now. We're in a bit of trouble here. The 2 flyers, we need removal. There's Breaking of the Fellowship. Target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to another creature. Okay. So I think we're just going to attack with Grishnak here. And then hope that they block with Land Reveal. And then we can use Breaking of the Fellowship to ping one of them down. We're going to have to break in no matter what this turn. The other thing we'll do is we'll probably crack their Wizard's Rockets here. So they're not going to do it. So let's go ahead and crack this for a red. I can just, yeah, pay that for red. Draw a card here. Horn of the Dead Marsh is actually a good one because now we can just target creature an opponent controls deal damage to another target. This creature deals damage to Westfold Rider. Take that down, and now we significantly slow down that process there. Relentless Rohirrim. I think it's sort of at the point here where I don't think we want Rohirrim and we just need to dig to an answer. So I'm just going to ship it there and say go. We're now also going to crack this for green. And the reason for that is we just want to thin the deck out a little bit. So Land Reveal is getting us pretty good here. Grishnak on that. Now I wish we'd kept Rohirrim on top because we could set up another Ring Temps. Battlescar Goblin is fine. So now we're pretty stuffed unless we draw any removal spell or one of our Generous Ents. Generous Ent will save us because of the reach and the life gain. But yeah, that's basically our outs here. So Nasty End's going to kick us off. Sacking Grishnak here. Relentless Rohirrim and Shelob. Shelob's the only spider that doesn't have reach. So it's not going to do it for us. Let's go ahead and Relentless Rohirrim the Haunt. Attack with both here and then just see what we draw. We draw another Rohirrim. It's not going to do it. It's good games with the opponent. Down 1 and 2. We'll see if we can bounce back in the next one. Alrighty. Back for game number 4 here. This hand's a definite keep. We've got Grishnak, Rohirrim, the One Ring, Ugluk as well. So some nice ones here. Shy Terrace as well. Probably should crack that there for blue, but that's alright. Now we can just... I think we just go and get Grishnak going. Like, there's no point waiting around. We just want to get the bodies. This is just a worse Dunlop Crabane that's just been countered, so that's fine. Inherited Envelope. Not the scariest thing to see on the other side of the table. Let's go ahead and... I think we just want to cast Rohirrim here. So we could cast Ugluk. We could cast the One Ring, but we want to cast the ring when we've got pressure on the opponent. Willow Wind. Now we can cast the one Ugluk of the White Hand, or... I actually think we just want to cast War Beast here. War Beast is going to get us a separate body. I'd rather have the extra body than have the Ugluk. And these two big bodies are going to pretty big threat against the opponent. Birthday Escape. Getting the ring going. This thing's going to be doing 6 damage a turn now. They've discarded Bilbo. And now Menaldor Swift Savior. Alright, so potentially looking at 9 damage this turn. I think we can just cast Swarming of Moria here. As much as I want to get the ring down, I think it's better to just get all our creatures down. And now we just want to attack with everyone and put the pressure on them. We're going to take 9 down to 5, but I don't think there's a way of them doing 5 damage to us this turn. except for Grishnak. Okay. So the question is, do we want to take this damage? And I think the answer... So we're going to take 8 down to 6, down to 3. I don't think there's anything that deals us 3 damage here. So I think we just take it. And then we use the 1 ring to hopefully get us out of this situation. So they can look again here. So they have a sack out there. I mean, we're just stuffed. They've just gone off here. Elrond, Lord of Rivendell. Okay. And they could have... So now I get Book of Mazarbul. Down. Sorry, excuse me. So we gain protection for everything. We're going to lose a life. We're going to lose 1 life. Or we can draw it next turn. We can draw it on an upkeep and put a burden counter on it. And then we like lose a life. We can book. What happens if we just swing out here? That's the first thing to think about. They can block here, and they can trade here. They chump. Our other option is to just, let Ugluk die here. If they eat this, chump here, take 2. I think it's actually right to just swing out here and see how they block. If they eat the 2/2, we can... So they're going to chump there. Okay. I like all of this. They have to kill Ugluk here. So they can trade Lord Elrond here for Ugluk. I think it's actually right. Like, they should trade for Ugluk here. So yeah, it puts them in a bit of a bind. I think they should probably eat Ugluk, trade Rohirrim. Oh, but then we get another 2/2. Get a 4/4. So potentially should have played Book of Mazarbul first. But I think it's also important that if they do, for some reason, block the 2/2, we get to keep that body. So now, yeah, that's how they should block, I think. So now we push some damage through. Maybe we shouldn't attack with Ugluk there. But now we get to ring here. Can't cast Book of Mazarbul. So we get to ring. Get protection from everything. Question is, do we want to draw a card now? I think we don't. We want to draw it on our upkeep. So potentially misplaying this here. I think maybe we're meant to cast the ring and try and draw a land off it. I don't think this works. I think it should give us protection from its... It'd be pretty funny if the ring can't give us protection from itself. We just lose to Willowwind here. They'll laugh pretty hard. No, so we have protection. That works, okay. So Bilbo comes in. The ring tempts them again. We're just straight up dead to Willowwind here. We're straight up dead to Mereldor, so... It's going to need to be good. I've just completely mistimed that, so we should have just drawn. And yeah, that's going to be the game. Just don't think we're winning that game, but we punted. This is a pretty cool deck. I think, definitely not our finest moments in terms of playing this one out, but yeah, the deck was really cool. I hope you managed to enjoy the draft, regardless of us losing here. Good game to the opponent. And I will see you in the next video, but we'll take one final look at the deck. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment as well. Have a laugh at how funny all of my punting was. But yeah, I hope you managed to enjoy the video regardless. And one last look at the deck here. It's a pretty sweet one. We definitely lacked on removal and interaction, which was unfortunate. We didn't really see any Smite the Deathless. Maybe we were meant to play Friendly Rivalry, but yeah, a couple of our mulligans there and misplays potentially cost us. But yeah, it was a sweet deck. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.